So Agilent came to us with the need to move out of an existing facility they were in, move operations, and they wanted to outsource that to CSA. So we were able to, from scratch, completely renovate a facility within 8 miles of their existing facility. We were able to do it at a much lower square footage cost, and we were able to transfer the staff from Agilent over to this new facility as CSA employees. Now, the advantage to that is that Agilent now gets a fixed price per repair or fixed price per pump. There's no overhead allocated for facility, there's no electrical cost, none of that stuff is, all the variable type costs are eliminated. Now they have one fixed price. So if they're setting their pump repair pricing, they know exactly what their costs are to get that service performed. Now it's CSA's responsibility to manage to that pricing. So being able to move from one facility to the other allowed us to be able to tear a lot of the processes and procedures. It's not just physically moving from one place to the other, but it's actually looking at the entire process, looking at the entire flow, and looking for ways to improve efficiency and lower costs. We go in and by sitting down and analyzing every step of the process and understanding the climate or the environment that the operations have to be done in, the electrical needs, the air handling systems, the parts logistics, all of the pieces that have to come into play, as well as the expertise and the skill set of the technicians that need to be provided. So anyone can put together a bench operation and staff it with some work with a workforce. But are you bringing the right workforce? Are you training them correctly? Are you putting the right quality systems in place? Is your environmental health and safety to a level that's not going to harm the client when you get audited? These are kind of the overarching things that have to come into play. But you also have to look at this from a cost perspective. You've got to figure out a way to do it at a better cost than the client currently has experienced, or the whole process doesn't work.
When we did get here, we set up the work cells a lot different than they were in Lexington. We did more of a streamlined process where we were actually doing like a production build of service components. We did more of point of use materials, so they didn't have to travel far for the materials. And I did actually have some of the techs draft out how they would like the work centers to look. And what they did was in scratch paper, they drafted everything out. So when we set up over here, we took that into consideration. So they became part of, the process of setting up the new area. They really enjoy the facility here because it's more room and they're able to function better. They're able to not build one pump at a time. They can actually do 2 pumps at a time. The output of the production of pumps, from the Lexington site with the same amount of people, we were doing roughly 34 on average on a weekly basis. And right now here in the Bill Ricker site, we've been averaging somewhere around, in the mid 40s now. Today, it's like a piece of cake. Everybody loves the way it's set up. And nobody's bumping into each other, and it works out rather well. The cleaning process is a major cost savings for us here in the Bill Ricker site. In the Lexington facility, we outsourced all of the cleaning. Since then, we've streamlined that process to bring it back in-house. In less than 2 weeks, we calculated 27 pumps, which is roughly a little over $8,000, and that's all in our, goes to our bottom line.
One of the things about CSA Partner Services is we act more like a strategic partner for our clients. And when I mean strategic partner, what we'd like to do is really get in and understand the client's needs, develop relationships that is not only delivering a solution for today, but helps them develop the strategic plan for the future.